So 0101 is understanding someone else, is that right?
Yes, it's this EL16. Hold on. I just need to find the reference in the answering affidavit. Yes, it's a bit difficult to read, my lord.
This is a draft, it's not a document of practice of
No, this is, yes, it comes from the applicant, and my understanding is that this is why the applicants now say, look, the respondents say there was a breach. And this serial 2, I'm just reading from the document itself. Upon arrival at Mulungushi, Old Wing, the President of the Republic of Zambia will receive the family and the military will march the casket into the hall and position the casket in readiness for body viewing. Now that's not, who will say, in other words, that's not an indication that he will do a speech, will state anything. The way I understand this is just he will be present. And that appears to be the entire complaint of the respondents. Because the current president will be there, that goes against the grain of the agreement. And that's why they say there was a repudiation. Now this ties up clearly with the military will be present, the president will be there, and he will receive the casket. So I'm afraid I can't see any contradiction between what this document says and what the agreed program also stipulates. So to conclude on the agreement itself, what we say is that the relief we seek is based on this agreement, and the issue that bothers the court, the question of the consultation and the fact that there may not be an agreement on who exactly will speak. What we say is the agreement provides for a consultative process.
It's with preside, because that is in the center of the dispute.
Well, who will preside? As far as the funeral is concerned, it's clear that the Archbishop will preside. When the body arrives, the President will be there. He's head of state. He's the head of the military. He will clearly be in a position there to represent the state of Zambia, or the Republic. And if you call that preside, then yes, he will preside. What we say is there will be military honors. And if the conclusion is that the head of state will preside, then that is a conclusion that will flow logically from that fact. It will not mean that the applicant has breached the agreement. Because this is what it is really all about. If we then move on, the respondents contend there was no agreement. We deny that. We say there was clearly an agreement. Then we say the law of, in respect of burial rights, apply. And if you then ask the question, what law should be applied? We say that the conflict rules will take you to the laws of Zambia. And that we deal with in the heads of argument. paragraphs 3.6 to 3.8. Well, firstly, 3.4. Why do we say there is a foreign element? Is because this matter concerns the body of the late President of the Republic of Zambia. The family are Zambian citizens, Zambian nationals. The late President was domiciled in Zambia. He was only temporarily in South Africa. And what we say is, or what LAWSA says, is that if there is a foreign element, a court must go through various steps. And the first is the characterization, and that is to identify the dispute. The dispute here is clear. It concerns the burial rights of the state in our context, or the family. And then if you characterize the matter, then you should look at the connecting factors. And what we say is that the law of the jurisdiction that has the closest and most real connection with the case is Zambian law.
On 3.5 of your case, you says that dealing with these issues that are other factors to be considered, which are resilient. Another aspect that you mentioned here is the place where transaction takes place. Is it agreed that there is transaction took place in South Africa?
Yes.
And why should South African law?
My lord, that's a complicated or a complex issue, because it may be
that the law of Zambia would say, look, in an event such as this, you must look at the law of the contract, the place where the contract took place, the lex loci contractus. And the principle, I did not refer to it in my, it's the principle is the principle of Ranwa. But what we say is that the law that has the clearest and most real connection is the Zambian law. But yes, the court may decide to deal with the matter on the basis that the parties contracted in South Africa, the lex loci contractus should apply. And if you do that, then clearly the result would be South African law, and then the contentions that we have already made as far as breach is concerned would apply. Incidentally, the position in Zambian law is exactly the same as in South African law as far as the law of contract is concerned. In the heads I gave you a reference to an eminent writer on the law of contract. And what is also necessary just to briefly point out is that, and I see in the respondent's answering affidavit, or in the heads of argument, it is stated that the applicants did not produce any expert evidence as far as the Zambian law is concerned, but that is not correct. The supplementary founding affidavit makes it clear that the
Attorney General who deposed to the founding affidavit. He's an expert. He's the government's chief legal advisor. He has various law degrees. He's a practitioner. He confirms the position in Zambian law. And then there's also a further expert, Mr. Mutembwa, who is State Counsel. That is the equivalent of the Senior Counsel in South Africa. He's also an expert in Zambian law, and he also confirms that the position in Zambian law is as he set out in the supplementary founding affidavit. Yes.
Now, if we forecast, if we decide the rights of respondents given more.
What we say is, if you look at South African law and you look at the right of the respondents, you should look at the totality, and that will take me to the matter that I want to refer you to. But if I might perhaps just finish with the Zambian law and the law relating to burial rights. And it won't take me long, my lord. It is the matter of the People versus Secretary Cabinet, ex parte Kaweche Kaunda. And you will find the relevant portion on K1 to 6, where the Zambian High Court stated yes. Yes. Indeed. Yes. Yes. Apart from that distinction, the facts are almost on all fours. Because in this matter, the family wanted a private burial, not at Embassy Park. They wanted the court to respect what they also contended were the wishes of the late President Kaunda. And the court then found, firstly, there is no empirical evidence deduced in relation to the wish of the first president, that's President Kaunda.